testing out the mandatory gear, got it all on my back, and seeing how I go for a couple of hours with it. Hello and welcome back. So today's video, so what am I doing today? So I'm doing a quick review of my Salomon Advance Skin 12 bag, or vest, which they call it, which I've got hanging up here. Here we go. So I've had this probably a couple of months now, but I reckon I've done maybe 4 or 5 runs in it now, probably getting on for 100k and probably way over 10 hours, maybe between 10 and 15 hours. So what I'll do a quick run through of the bag, but also on the table here is all my mandatory gear that I need to take for the Kunanyi mountain run coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'll just show you really how I pack all of this stuff into this bag and then what that's like to run with. So yeah, if you're interested, keep watching. So, Salomon bag, what's in this bag? So, the vest pops on with these little straps down here. Pretty straightforward to get on. What you need to do when you're putting this on though, and when you first get it, pack up your bag and then make sure these hooks are in the right spot. So when I first got mine, the first run I went on, what I found once the bag is fully packed, that this little hook down here and this one here were a bit further up, and I got some bouncing when I've got the water bottles in full of water plus food and everything else in here, then it did start to bounce, and at the end of a big 5-hour marathon I had bruised ribs. So I've adjusted those since, and hopefully that has solved the problem. I've not had any problems since. They are a little bit of a pain to adjust. So they've got these little hooks and they hook on at the back here. So I had to get one of those little tiny electrical screwdrivers to actually pull the string and this little strap up and over and around. So my bag. So what's in the bag? So you've basically got big pocket at the back, very flexible, lots of room for storage in here. There's little pockets actually on the inside here as well. There's some more hooks. I think these are just spare hooks inside to be used just in case these front ones break, because I can't see how they would attach or anything. I think they're actually just spares. That's what I'm presuming anyway. If anyone's got any other ideas, let me know. Cool. So this comes in different sizes. I think I've gone for the small. I was in between the extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. You can measure your chest. I went for the small, but I'm right on the cusp between small and medium. Most of the things I'm a small, so I've gone for a small. It seems to fit well for me, and works out, yeah, all fine. The other thing I've added on for my bag is this quiver. So this quiver is for my poles. So when I'm running, slot my poles in, goes in. This is an addition, which I think can also fit on the 10 and the 5 litre packs. I really struggled to get this in Australia, but yeah, managed to get it overseas. This has been awesome for all the runs I've been using the poles. So what do we do with this? How do we get it on? So it actually just hooks on the top. You can put it on the left or right, but you really want it on this left hand side because it goes on the right. It covers the zip. So it hooks on here through these little, almost very similar to a bra strap, where it hooks on to these just little things here. Nice and straightforward. And then at the bottom where this attaches to. So on the bottom of the bag, you got these two little hooks. There's one here, and there's one on the other side. What I've done here is thread the cord through the hook, and then you can pull it tight. And so when the bag actually goes on, like so, sits on the back, and here you can pull it tight and lock those poles in place and undo. Again, and undo. Cool. Keep the bag on, because just show you what else we've got on here. So again, these things are fully adjustable. I'll just hook it on. There we go. And you can tighten that through this strap here, on and off. Pull it tight. You got the zip on the right, zip on the left. And then pockets everywhere, so pockets in here where you put your food, up here, little bag inside where I actually use that to put my electrolytes in, pockets at the top for the water bottles, and then one big one round the back. Down here where I can put my jacket. Cool. So, how have I found this running so far? And yeah, really good, awesome. When you've got the bottles on the front, if you're used to wearing a camelback, feels a bit weird to start with, and yeah, really adjust those straps to make sure that you don't get that bounce. I've also found that my phone is pretty heavy. I'll just get my phone 1 second. So, just the standard Samsung phone, nothing too massive, but yeah, it's not one of the smallest. I took this away in here, just a Ziploc bag. Pop it in the side pocket, but this is probably the heaviest thing to carry. And when you've got the water bottles in, it does tend to bounce a little bit, but yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, so the mandatory gear that I need to take, this is it all laid out on the table. This is probably fairly standard for most long ultra races. We've got waterproofs, a hat, a little beanie, some gloves, some thermals, top and bottom. The top's got to be a certain weight. Emergency bivvy sack. Normally sometimes you can just use a foil blanket, but this race stipulates a full bivvy bag. Snake bandage, probably don't need those in any other country other than Australia, but you definitely need them in Australia. Head torch, reflective vest with reflective straps over the shoulders and at the bottom, because there are some places I think where we have to run on the road at night. Enough storage to be able to carry 2 litres of water, so the litre, 500 mils in each of these, plus I've got a litre in here. Then your phone. These I use for my gels, so I put my gels in separately and put them in. I'm also going to bring a mobile charger for my phone, because the phone has to be fully charged and you have to show your phone charge, plus it's good safety for my phone and also my camera when I'm out there filming. Okay, let's go about packing this thing. So, first things first, I've got these large sort of heavy duty Ziploc bags, which I will wrap up and start with my waterproof pants, the sexy long johns, Grandad would be proud, and then my merino top, and again this one's I think 230 grams per square metre, so it has to be a winter one for this Tassie race. Pull that nice and tight. Put them all in the bag. Cool. Nice and tight, nice and airlocked. And that will go in the main part of my bag, along with snake bandage and the bivy sack, so they'll fit down the bottom. Because I will put my water in the back to start with first. There we go. Okay, water's in. Next up, snake bandage, bivy bag. So I'll just put this one in first. All the waterproofs in there again, we'll just open a little bit. And again, this keeps it nice and dry as well, just in case it does rain. All my gear stays nice and dry. Bivy sack on the top. And there we go. First part done. Next up, I'll put my gloves and my beanie in another Ziploc bag. I may be wearing my gloves, depends on how cold it is to start with. Again, pull that nice and tight, get the air out. There we go. All done. Put that in the top. And that's the main backpack pack. Next, my waterproof. So waterproof jacket. Again, doesn't need to go on the inside, doesn't need to stay dry because it's a waterproof jacket. And that fits in this bottom pocket along here. So that means it's actually accessible if it does start raining while we're out there. It's just tucked away, nice and easy to get to, don't have to stress too much. There we go. I forgot my head touch, so I just slip my head touch in at the top as well. There we go. So, yeah, main part done. Actually feels nice and comfy. Strap myself in. And there we go. Next up, water bottles. So what I do, one will be water, one will be electrolytes. They just slot in the front pockets here. Nice strap on. Same on the other side. They're a bit easier to go in when they've actually got water in them. Knock it over. Now you can buy extensions for the top here, because you know I've not even needed it. I don't know whether you will, but it's fairly easy to actually get to with just the way the water bottles are at the moment, like that. Okay. Next up, my gels. So I've got 4 of these. I'll fill these up. I'll show you a vid. Fill them up like this. And then this lot in. What I do, I tend to keep 2 the gels on the one side. I've also got some shorts that have got pouches in as well, so I tend to keep one of these that I'm actually using just in my shorts pouch so that they're easy to access. Electrolyte tablets, so I'll fill these up, this bag up. That then just sits, as I mentioned earlier, just in this little impact inside pocket here. Perfect. Other side down here, I like to take something salty with me, so I'll probably have some pretzels in another Ziploc bag in here, and some spare gels just in case, but there are gels at each aid station as well. Lastly, then, as I mentioned, this one, which is the charger for the phone, goes on one side, and then my phone goes on the other side. Also means it's nice and handy to get out to take nice selfies and nice landscape shots. And finally, this is the first time I've ever purchased anything extra large, but extra large because it just fits snugly over my bag, so I can still run with it. Et voila! And then my poles. So yeah, I'll probably do a separate review on these coming up. First time I've ever had poles. I've probably again maybe done just over 10 hours with them in some pretty steep sort of hills and declines and inclines, crossing rivers and creeks in my Wonder Falls race. And these have been excellent. Absolutely love them. So these are the Salomon brand S-Lab. I don't know what they're called, but I bought there's a sort of a bit of a height chart. These are the 115 centimeters or 46 inches. And so whilst I'm running, this is where the quiver comes in handy. So you can see the quiver here. They can be a little bit awkward to get in, but you know, when you're doing an ultra race and it takes you maybe an extra 10 seconds to get these things in over an 8-hour race, 9-hour, 10-hour, then yeah, it doesn't really matter. Leave the thing away. See the strap in there? And as I mentioned earlier, to lock them in, you've got this little tab down here, pull it tight, pull the tab up, and it locks it in down the bottom here. So they're nice and stable, really stable. And then when I want to get them out, so I just reach down, pull that tab. Whoops, don't tell the wife. And then, oh, I forgot, sorry. Easiest way to do it is hold the bottom and pull them out. And then, ready to run. Awesome. Cool. Okay, let's go for a run. So, testing out the mandatory gear, got it all on my back, and seeing how I go for a couple of hours with it. So, you see, fully packed up. The only thing I've not got is my poles, because I can't really use my poles when I'm running with the dog. So I've just left them at home, but I know I used those last week and they were fine. Cool, so so far the old Salomon vest working out well. The only thing I have found, I'm not sure if anyone else gets this, so it's really good, but because of the weight of my phone, maybe with modern phones, you can see maybe this pocket where my phone is really bouncing around. I had it on my other pocket and I've worn this a couple of times now, this vest, and I have the same issue. So I'm not sure really what to do. I might need to work out a different place to put my phone, but it's always handy to have it here if I want to take pictures or do anything on the runs. So yeah, that's probably the only annoying thing. Everything else feels really good. It's nice and steady, feels nice and secure. I've got access to everything. Just time for some snacks for me and Zeus. He's having a bit of a wander. Just giving him some drink. The bag. So the bag's going great. There's plenty of stuff in here, as you can see. Just got the dog bowl, which is one of those foldable ones. Just put that in there. Yeah, it's feeling good. First time out. Overall, full kitted up. Feeling pretty good. Still feels pretty heavy. Still a bit of water in there yet, though. But yeah, I've had no issues at all. Shoulders rubbing, nothing. All good. So, run all finished. Bag held up well. So, final conclusions. Bag is awesome. Absolutely love it. If you're doing anything ultra, anything really over that 2 hour mark, highly recommend it. It's got plenty of storage. Carry water in the back, room for poles, and especially if you go doing any ultra races, then heaps of room in the back as well, particularly for those long ones where you've got lots of mandatory gear. As I say, the only issue I had was the bruising. That was rectified by tightening these little things. So, would I recommend buying it? Definitely if you're planning on doing anything over 2 hours and on any trails, particularly if you need any mandatory gear. If you don't need any mandatory gear, maybe the 5 litre may be good enough for you. You might be able to fit all your stuff in. So there we have it. Get any questions, feel free to leave any comments, and yeah, I'll be using this on my upcoming ultra. Catch you later.